I'd like to raise the sails again, watching for the whales again, and never have to say, I wish that I had done the things that I can't do when I'm too old to play.
When we last left you, the travel lift was having some issues, so the travel lift whisperer was called in and he worked his magic.
Yeehaw!
Thank you. Looks pretty good so far. Always thrilled to be back on the water.
Well, first sail of the season. And we've got a gorgeous lighthouse. And as you can see, we have the tide going with us. It's great. So one of the projects I've got to tend to are these panels, these clear panels of isinglass. They are all fogged up and ready to be replaced.
It was at this point that a boat came alongside and the driver warned me of a powerful storm and high winds approaching.
A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 5 p.m. for northeastern Monmouth County. 5 miles per hour wind gusts and quarter sail. Source, radar indicated. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Large hail and damaging winds and continuous cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with these storms. Near Flushing and Mott Haven around 4:20 p.m. Frogs Neck Bridge and Bayside around 4:25 p.m. Great Neck and City Island around 4:30 p.m. Manhasset around 4:35 p.m.
Having just put Avocet back to rights after a similar blow put her on the rocks, I was none too anxious to repeat the experience. The storm was moving this way fast.
Well, that does look like it could be something. Figures. The day I put it in, we get this. My mooring will be tested. Of course, that's how all the problems began the first time when the mooring was tested. So you can believe I'll be putting at least one anchor out. We're back to the mooring, but here comes the party.
Ahoy, Captain Brian!
I'm piling the anchor and chain into the dinghy and rowing it out into the building wind to backstop the mooring in case it's still having issues. And just like that, the wind stopped and the front fell apart. The weather service deleted the warning and it was all over. Sheesh. Well, okay by me, I guess.
Well, I've got the Dodger off the boat and I'm going to replace the clear panels. They've gotten all kind of fogged up and old and scratched and not very clear anymore. So here is our new isinglass and our old pieces laid out. So I'll just trace those off and cut them out. And away we go. Hold this tube up like,
But you're just going to let it feed itself.
I went on eBay looking for a machine, for this particular machine, a FOF 130, and there were bunches of them for 300, 400, 500, and this guy had this thing listed for $35 because his title was rough but a workhorse, and some of the paint's missing, you know, the little gold frilly detail paint was missing, but he had taken the whole thing apart, scrubbed it with a toothbrush. I mean, there was a video of him doing all this, and nobody bid on it. Well, next up is the replacement of the sort of naugahyde strip that you grab onto at the back edge of the Dodger when you're bracing yourself. A lot more clear. Once those wrinkles kind of settle out, it'll be beautiful. So where are we going, Muriel?
We are going sailing. We will see how the old stomach does. That's right. Do a little overnight.
First set, and you know what tonight is? Tonight is the full moon.
Ooh.
Okay, we are off. And look at those nice new clear windows I made for you.
Look at that. What a gift to be able to see out the window. It's great. I'm going to turn on the depth counter.
Oh, what'd you think?
This would just be a dry run overnighter to test things out, or perhaps a wet run.
Well, we are anchored at Democrat Point. But this is the very end of Fire Island, which is 26 miles long, and this is called Democrat Point. No one seems to know exactly why.
We had thought about overnighting here in this choppy area to better reacquaint ourselves to the motion. But, you know, the lure of the quiet, flat water behind the sore thumb won out.
Taking a picture of the moon. Oh, yeah. On this side, the last of the sunset. Good morning.
Not very long, but all right.
Oh, you're doing a fine job. Whoops, wait a minute, I spoke too soon.
That's right.
Gotta look back. Still look back. You're going in sort of a straight line. The beach is getting closer. That's a good
That's
sign.
good. That's a good thing. Well, first landfall this season. We have rowed out from
You
the
make
boat
it
this
sound
morning.
like we crossed the ocean.
Yeah.
We're a mile from the house.
First landfall 1 mile from the house. But we overnighted and got to watch the sunrise over the water. So it was lovely. Well, it's a good thing it's not rough because we nearly lost the boat a couple of times. I think we need a new anchor, Brian.
A new anchor?
Yeah, I mean, there's been too many times that we've had to chase the boat
Too
down.
many times. I can't think of one.
Well, do you remember the time that we woke up and we were thinking about, why are these boats coming so close to us and leaving a wake? And so we threw open the hatch and realized that we were not anchored next to the beach. We were in the middle of the channel.
That was funny.
Yeah, party boats going by. Nantucket when,
But wait a second.
yeah, there was two.
Don't you see how fun that was and what a great story we got out of that and how sporting that is? I mean, you're going to miss all that if you get an anchor that actually works.
But the next time it happens, we will have already told that story and it'll be old hat, so I think now it's time for a new anchor.
All right, I'll get another anchor.
All right. I think that is a worthy expense. A worthy expenditure.
So all you've got to do, Muriel, is look at the land behind me and see if it's shifting left or right. And that way you can row without looking back over your shoulder. Just stay on your line.
Stay up that straight.
Well, Muriel drove us there and she's driving us back. So what I do is I stay on the outside of the moorings, and then when we're past them all, I make a U-ey at Harding, in front of Harding, and then come back nice and slow against the current. Let the current act as a brake against the boat. Slow down and then go into neutral, coast up to the mooring, and pick up the mooring that way. And then put it in gear if you need to. And try to work it out that you're practically going zero as you get to the mooring.
Push the button and then turn off.
Yeah. And then turn the key at last. Very good. Perfect.